Hey, welcome to 12 Tone. Last week we were at VidCon and I wanted to learn more about how non-musicians think about music, so I decided to do something a little different. Instead of me telling you about things, I brought a camera along and asked my fellow creators one simple question. What's your favorite song, and what's one thing you like about it besides the lyrics, the vocal performance, or a guitar solo? I wanted to get people thinking a little bit deeper about composition without getting too technical, and spoiler alert, I got some awesome answers. Plus, stick around to the end and I'll tell you mine too. But first, let's see what these people have to say.
Favorite song? I don't have a favorite. I like to kind of pick and choose. I like to find new things. One that really stood out to me early on was Balrog Boogie by Diablo Swing Orchestra. It really showed me that you can blend different genres together. So they took swing and they took metal and they put it together into something absolutely amazing that you just can't help but dance to.
Favorite song right now is by the group Wintergarten. I love a lot of their songs. The two that you're probably most familiar with are the Marble Machine song that they did, which went viral last year, and also other songs like Småfågeln. Not going to pronounce it right, it's a Swedish name. But what I really like about their music is that they do layers, at least that's the term I use, where they start with a particular melody or rhythm, and then they layer another on top of it, and another on top of it, and maybe even a fourth, and then they play with it throughout the song with different layers interacting with each other, sometimes all, sometimes only the first and third, so on and so forth, until it all kind of dies down at the end back to just the very basic one that they started with, and it just fades on out.
My favorite song probably is Sylvia Plath by Ryan Adams, and the thing that I really like about it is how, like, as it goes, it sways, so it goes like da 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 da, and the way that it has like pauses. Like, the pauses are kind of like a nonverbal way of building you up, and then they bring you into the next thing, and it's like syncopated, and like you just kind of sway to it as you hear it.
My favorite song is On the Radio by Regina Spektor, and I like it because it's easy to play on ukulele, and it's just a really pretty song that I really like.
So Colin Stetson is one of the cooler artists that I like, and I think the first song I heard from him was In Mirrors. I don't know if it's my favorite, but that's the first one that intrigued me. He does circular breathing, and he plays a baritone sax, and he does like 6-minute songs sometimes. And the one I saw, he was actually in a tunnel, and he was using the sound reverberating around in the tunnel. And he had microphones on his neck and all over the saxophone, and it was just very weird, and I hadn't seen anything like it before. And as he's playing and doing the circular breathing, he'll like kind of scream, and you can hear it because he has like this mic wrapped around his neck.
Alright, so my favorite song is What About Love by Heart. The best part about that song that's not one of those is definitely the chord progression. It's a very effectual sounding thing. I always get feels when that comes through.
Okay, the song that I find interesting for reasons other than lyrics, guitar solo, and that sort of thing is Trombone Shorty's Hurricane Season. And the thing that I find interesting about Hurricane Season is that there's an instrumental, well, the entire thing is instrumental, and it seems repetitive. It's got this same progression over and over and over again. And yet I don't ever find it repetitive. I can listen to that song almost all day and it never gets repetitive. Additionally, like other things in the New Orleans jazz tradition, I like how things quiet down, you can hear other voices, and I love that idea of everybody going to the same basic rhythm or harmony, and quieting down their instrument to hear other people's interpretation of that rhythm, and then quieting down and keep on going in that same rhythm.
Oh, does it have to be a song?
Classical composition is fine too.
Because I was going to say my favorite piece to
fine.
listen to is Beethoven's Fourth Piano Concerto. And I just really like, I don't know, it's just such a well-written concerto, and the melodies are like, this is such a bad thing for me to answer. I just really like it. Listen to Beethoven's Fourth Piano Concerto.
All right.
I will say that my favorite song would have to be Animal Crossing theme song from the GameCube. And my favorite part is just the encoded nostalgia within the song. I think that it's just the simplicity of the song that takes you back to that time. And I think that the sounds that they use to compose the songs are very unique.
So my favorite song at the moment is Issues by Julia Michaels. And I really like it because it's a pretty slow song, like she's singing very slowly, but the music is really kind of jumpy, like it stops and starts a lot, but it doesn't make the song slow, but it doesn't make the song less slow, but it makes it more upbeat, and I feel like the music underneath is what gives it life.
One of my favorite songs is the song Carolus Rex by Sabaton. Right at the start of this song, you have this low synth slowly building up, and then when the drums hit, it's just this really epic moment. It's slow and steady. A little complex, but not too complex, and you're just like, what is going on here? It feels epic. You feel power inside of you. Just a slow drum beat, and you feel like epic.
My favorite song, or at least one of the songs that's been on my mind quite frequently, and one of my favorite songs, is Bo Burnham's "Art Is Dead." It's just mind blowing. I really like it because it brings to light some of the things that I'm really like pushing down. The things that like just feelings that I've been thinking about that like I just don't really want to think about, and it just brings to light. I know this isn't really supposed to be about lyrics, so kind of like one of the things that I think about when the song comes up is how there's these kind of like really dark and depressing lyrics, but then Bo like plays the piano perfectly, like very nicely, smoothly. It's just this great juxtaposition there, and that I think really brings it home.
One of my favorite songs is Jungle Land from Bruce Springsteen's album Born to Run. It's this epic 9-minute ballad, and one of my favorite moments from it is there's just like a beautiful saxophone solo by Clarence Clemens, but also there's this variety within the song. It goes from like a piano ballad to this rock and roll thing to then this sax solo, so a lot of diversity. Really like it.
One of my favorite songs is called Heaven When We're Home by the Waylon Jennys, and they're a bluegrass trio, and there's this great kind of just tone and feel to it that complements the message of just like looking for yourself, looking for things, but having like a trio working all of their harmonies that go together. Also, you've got a lot of mandolin and violin, and that's all just really cool, down-to-earth, homey feels to it as well.
So I love Green Day's Good Riddance. I think the opening part of the track where he starts and then he messes up, it's like shit, and then has to start over again, I think it is hysterical, and I like the personality that shows in the performer, on that audio track, and I'm so glad they didn't edit that out.
And that's it. Huge thanks to everyone who participated. There's links to all their channels in the descriptions, plus all the songs I mentioned too. But before we go, I promised you an answer. My favorite song is a Jethro Tull song called My God. There's a lot to love about it, but if I had to pick one thing, it'd be the way it brings the band in. It starts with just an acoustic guitar, and it sounds really classical. When the first verse comes in, they add a piano, but it doesn't really change the vibe. You're expecting it to blow up at some point, but when the first chorus arrives, no new instruments join. Then it goes back to the verse, and you're thinking, okay, they're gonna do it in the second chorus, but halfway through that verse, with no warning whatsoever, an entire rock band comes crashing in. It's amazing, and it gets me every time. It changes the whole feel of the song, but it still fits perfectly. It's brilliant. Anyway, that's mine. How about you? What's your favorite song, and what do you like about it besides the obvious things? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. If you want to help make these videos possible, please consider supporting 12 Tone on Patreon. You can also join our mailing list to find out about new episodes. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and keep on rockin'.